Hey everybody, if you found this video useful or interesting in any way, please give me a like and subscribe. That would help out a lot for the growth of this channel, and it'll let me know that I'm doing something that you enjoy. All right? See ya. Do genetics matter in regards to athletic performance and the amount of muscle you put on your body? Well, the short answer, if you just want to skip everything else, is yes, it does matter. And we know this because there have been several studies done, in particular about the fiber typing. So, if you're not really familiar, there's generally two classes of fiber types within muscle tissue for the human body, and that would be considered type 1 and type 2 fibers. They have different classifications within that, but we know that the distribution of fiber type varies between individuals. And not only that, you can influence fiber typing based on how you train, but your capacity to have a kind of predetermined number of fibers for a specific area of your body can change based on an individual. Meaning, I'm sorry, to clarify, one individual might have more type 2 fibers naturally than another individual. And we've even looked at this in studies with identical twins where they've taken the two sets of twins, they've looked at their fiber type, and we know that genetic variance between two identical twins is minimal. And so because of that, we can see that if these two individuals have the same exact fiber distribution in certain areas, then we know that this is something that is determined genetically. Again, though, training can influence the amount of fiber typing in certain regions of the body. So let's say, for instance, in these studies, they looked at calf muscles, and for distance runners, they see more type 1 fibers, and in sprinters, they see more type 2 fibers. And again, at the high level, the elite level, you're going to have individuals that probably have a natural tendency to have a higher number of these fiber types to begin with, versus these lower levels. And during the training process in the sport itself, those types of fibers are going to be enhanced from a distribution level. So is fiber typing everything when it comes to understanding genetics with athletes? I would say definitely at the top levels. So when you see a football team, an American football team, very clearly there is a predisposition to having certain fiber types at that level for those individuals, rather than having someone with a distance runner type build who gets into that level of competition. And we see this kind of historically if we look at some of the most elite athletes in a given sport. You can see footage from them in high school, and they are very different most of the time than their counterparts at that level. And the lower you go in level, it matters less. And the same thing can kind of be said when we talk about like gender and all these types of differences. But as you move up through the ranks, there's going to be genetic determination to even get to that point. As far as athleticism goes and predisposition to some of that athletic capability, there's likely something related to that as well. If we look at intelligence or decision-making skills, those types of things, there is some relationship with genetics to all of those sorts of things as well. And in some studies, they might look at some protein distribution or something like that. But to the counterpoint of genetics don't matter at all, just work hard kind of thing, it's great in theory, especially if you aren't really necessarily competing for anything. But once you get to a high level of competition, genetics certainly matter. So I will leave it at that.